Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. These are buttons that are covered in fabric. They're referred to as cover buttons, and it's a little kit you buy. It doesn't come with the fabric, but it comes with a little metal backing and then the curved metal form, and with really basic instructions on how to make it. So you just take a small piece of fabric. This is probably a 2-inch square, and you draw a circle on it, and then you, with your needle and thread, you do a little basting stitch around the edge. Then you put your metal form inside here and pull on the thread. Then you have a little backing that's already inside here that you put on top and push down. And it comes with these little tools here, so you can see it's all real easy to do. Now, Dritz makes them. So if you want to use something where you can use up some of your scrap fabrics, what this is that as you can see, I've already torn up my package, but I'm going to turn it over. So it's like this. It has this half circle template. So you cut this out, and then you cut your fabric out, and it gets really, really basic instructions. So what's nice about these, not only can you use up some of your scrap fabric, but you can put them on clothing and really have a unique look to your garments. So on the back of your cover button is a little raised section. It's a loop, and that's where you stick your needle through, your needle and thread, to sew it on to whatever you're making. Other buttons you've purchased also have this shank on there. That's what they call it. The reason why you buy buttons with a shank versus a flat button, no shank, is because this type is used when creating a shirt where you're overlapping fabric to close up a shirt or a jacket or coat. But when you're putting the flat button on, you don't need to worry about leaving a lot of space in between the fabric and the button. And the purpose of that space is so that when you go to close a garment, you're actually getting double the thickness. So you have to make sure that there's plenty of room between the button and the original layer of fabric for that secondary layer to come over on top. Often people will use toothpicks. So they lay down the toothpick on their fabric, then place the button over the toothpick and stick the needle in thread through there. And that toothpick assures that you're going to have that little extra space that you need when you're making a shirt, coat, jacket, any type of garment. You don't always need to buy a pattern to make something, because as beginners, and I have many beginners who watch my channel, they just want a pattern, but you don't really need to buy a pattern. There are some simple beginner projects you can do without buying a pattern. So the only thing you need for this little baby bib is something round, like this cereal bowl. And on this particular baby bib, I'm using flannel. And I really like flannel to make baby products because they're just so soft. So all you need to do to make this basic baby bib is to lay down your 2 pieces of fabric, a front and a back. I have the same flannel on the back as I do on the front. Lay this on top, trace around it, and cut your fabric out. Now, how did I get this little edge right up here to dip in? Well, you can just freehand cut a little scoop. But all I did was take the same bowl, laid it over the edge of the fabric, traced around it, and cut it out. Then all you need to do is stitch your 2 pieces of fabric together, turn it right side out, and this is 1/4 inch wide bias tape. So it's just folded over the edge, okay? And then you just stitch it down. So what I do is I start at one end of the bias tape, stitch the 2 edges together because it's opened bias tape, so you need to stitch it together. Stitch all the way around to the other end. And then all I did was just tie some basic knots at each end. And this is a great beginner sewing project using really easily accessible flannel. My Walmart store does sell some flannel fabric. Now, here's another baby item that is made out of flannel, and you could probably take a salad plate and you're going to draw 2 circles and then just kind of connect them, kind of go in like this. And you're probably wondering, what is this thing? Well, once I put it on, you'll know exactly what it is. It's a burp cloth. So again, it starts out with 2 circles. Just go to your kitchen, get out a salad plate, draw 2 circles onto paper, draw some little connecting lines that kind of curve in, cut out 2 pieces, it's the same fabric on the back, stitch it together, leave a hole so you can turn it front side out, turn it front side out, stitch up the hole, and you have a burp cloth. Here's another easy flannel project. Now, you don't have to make it for a baby, you can make it for an adult too. But this is a rag quilt. And again, it's made out of flannel. I think I only used a couple of layers of flannel in this. You don't need to sit and cut out a bunch of squares and then stitch all the squares together and then clip your edges and all of that. I have a really simple method of folding the fabric and cutting it so easy and stitching it so easy. So you don't need to worry about stitching all those squares together. I have a great method for making this, and you can use it for any size. Again, I said this is flannel. It's really soft. This is more of a newborn baby size. It's, excuse me, it's maybe 40 inches square when it's done. If you try to use regular scissors to clip these edges, so what it is that there's a stitch line here. You clip up to the stitch line. When you wash this and put it in the dryer, it fluffs up. But if you try to use regular straight edge scissors, your scissors will probably be worn out by the time you finish clipping. So this is a pair of rag shears. I've got a rubber band on there because the safety latch broke. I've had these for a long time. So they are extremely sharp. Never give these to a child to use. They're great. You can use these many times over before they wear out. Here is another project made out of flannel that's very easy. I also consider it a beginner's project. You start out with a square, and you need a large square of fabric for the back as well as the front. And I used the same flannel on the front and back. One other thing that I have in this is in between the layers of flannel, I have polyester batting, and it's squishy. It's not flat like cotton batting. And this makes it really, really fluffy, and it's really easy to work with. I like making all of my baby blankets out of this, or baby quilts. But what's unique about this, you have this square, but in the corner of one of the squares, you have a little triangle-shaped piece of fabric that you stitch up in the corner and acts as a hood. So when you put your little infant in there, this covers their head. So it just folds over like that. You just bring up the bottom, close the sides. On this, I did use quilting stitches. And the reasoning is because you have 3 layers of fabric. You don't want things to shift when they're being washed and used. So quilting stitches are really easy to do once you know how. So if you're going to do quilting stitches, whether it's this particular project or another one, and you just want to do basic straight lines, for instance, these lines are about 4 inches apart. I just took a ruler and took chalk and drew lines across, and then I went the other way. So there's a square pattern to the stitching, and then you would stitch right on top of your chalk line. So make sure you have pins to hold your fabric together before you start stitching on it, because your fabric will shift. You also want to lengthen your stitch to at least 3.0. Maybe on some quilts you might need to even lengthen it to 3.5. Always do a test stitch before you do it all over your quilt and realize, ooh, this looks terrible. This is a children's panel quilt, and or panel fabric. And you can get panel fabric at Etsy.com and other sewing supply websites. I like to go to Etsy because they have a huge selection. So if you're looking for a beginner quilt project, take one of these children's panel fabric pieces and create your quilt out of that. They're so fast. I used the polyester batting in this, layered my fabrics with the polyester batting. So you bring your front fabric against your back fabric, then put the polyester batting underneath. Then stitch around the edges. Leave a hole so you can turn it front side out. You want a hole at least big enough for your hand to go through. So in other words, you leave your seam undone in one area. Clip your corners first because they're going to be bulky, and then turn it front side out, and then wherever that opening was, stitch it closed. I did do a really simple quilt stitch pattern. This print here has what a border printed on it. It's not separate fabric. It was already printed on there. So all I did was stitch right on top of the line between each border print that was on here. So this is a really easy, quick project for you to do. You should be able, if you're a beginner, you should be able to do it in less than a day. For those of you who have some smaller pieces of leftover fleece, which is what this was, this is a really fun little project you can make that only takes a couple of minutes to make. It's so quick. This particular fleece has that fuzzy, furry stuff on the inside. And all you do is you measure the diameter of your head and cut out a rectangle that's bigger than the diameter of your head, because you want to be able to get this over your head. Then you bring the 2 ends together, stitch it together, and then you fold the edges of this over and stitch it down. And you have a little neck warmer. And the reason why it's so long this way is so if it's super cold, you can pull it up over the bottom part of your face to keep your nose warm. Well, I hope these sewing tips were helpful to you, and I hope you try making some of these projects, especially those of you who are beginners. The best way to get your feet wet is just to dive on in and buy a little piece of flannel fabric and make yourself a little baby bib. Save it for a gift in the future. Now, if you're interested in other beginners' sewing projects, scroll down to the description section, which is below your YouTube screen. As you're scrolling down, look for the word more. click on that word and that section will expand open and you will see all of the links appearing. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and make sure you check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.